Greetings and welcome to you. How are you doing? How are all the fancy feathers doing out there? So, this is like the fifth time I try to record this, but it's okay. It was all for a reason. There was like a bunch of, people. Oh, I'm not even going to start. I'm not even going to start. It was all for a reason. Let's just say that. So, today we are going to do a pick a card reading. I originally wanted to do 7 cards, but they did not fit on the screen, and I had to narrow it down to 5 groups, 5 cards. What are we doing today? We are removing negative false personality traits or personalities that are false personalities that have been programmed into you, mental programming through either supernatural, external, mental programming, demonic, aliens, the list goes on. Modern society, subliminal agendas, the list truly goes on. So whenever I was trying to do this, I got pulled to do 7, but they didn't fit on the screen. So everybody gets targeted in different ways, different angles, and we're going to see what angle or what personality aspect needs to be cleared and removed from you that is false. Let's just get straight to the point, shall we? If you don't know me, I am a scanner and diagnoser. Okay. Dun da da dun. We have 5 piles here. It does not matter if you are a male. It does not matter if you are a female. Choose a card that you feel drawn to, that you feel most drawn to. The quicker one, the quickest one, usually the first one that you were attracted to upon looking at them all is usually the right answer. Do keep in mind, this is still a general reading, and if it does not fit your story, it's simply someone else's story. If it's not resonating with you, try a different pile or a different reader. So right from the beginning, we have pile 1 here. If you chose this one here, let's begin with you, pile 1. If you chose this man, this fancy man, where should we put him? Should we put him here? Let's put him here. So, if you chose pile 1, you chose the man holding a coin. Whether you identify as a male or a female, it doesn't matter. But you show the world that you are strong. But are you? I just realized that if I shake this table, all of these little things are going to go flying. So I'm going to have to remove them. I love their energy. Agates. I love agates. So we're just going to put those to the side, and we're just going to be pulling out random cards for this pile, this group that chose pile 1. Okay. The first card that we have for you is happy, happy, happy. You might be 26 years old. It might be your birthday recently. or some of you are 43 years old. And regardless of whether or not you're celebrating a birthday, you were either given a gift or you got a really good sale, a really good customer, and you were given something of material wealth. Whether you worked for it or it was gifted to you, or it is just your own financial stability. But what you do with it? What do you do with it? Do you save it? Do you have a spending problem? Or do you save it? When you use it, how do you use it? So let's talk about the positives and negatives to try to figure out which one is the false one. Your positive traits are happiness. Your people, whenever, happiness, anger, sadness, jealousy, envy, all those emotions are contagious. Laughter, all those emotions are contagious. And you have a way. Sorry, it's really windy and all the doors and cabinets are just going crazy in the background. It's so funny. It sounds like I live in a really, really haunted house. Not that I don't, but it's the wind, okay? It's the wind that's doing that if you pick up on all those doors kind of closing and shutting. Okay, so your positive personality, pile one, is that you're a happy person. You're always a happy person. You're always willing to be daring and adventurous. You're open to travel. You're always willing to do the impossible where people say that you can't do it. You tell people, yes, you can. However, let's look at the negatives. On the negatives, you might be a gambler or have a shopping problem, or you only buy things that are expensive, or you only wear brand clothing, or you only respect things if they have an expensive tag or expensive brand or expensive reputation. And the negative is self-control. You don't have self-control over your spending or your emotions, or sometimes when you are promiscuous, you could be into overindulgence. And why is that? When you buy something, whatever it is, you buy it. Why did you buy it? With no judgment. There's no judgment on my channel. I will rant on and on and on about the very things that I do not judge. At the end of the day, I don't judge people. I don't judge anyone. I see this life as a series of lessons. So if we judge someone, we are judging their lesson that they're meant to have. How are they supposed to learn if they don't go through it? So let them go through it at some point. Unless they come and find you, they come looking for you, they come asking for spiritual counsel, spiritual advice, energy work, healing work, scanning, diagnosing, so forth. with no judgment. Why do you buy the items that you buy, pile one? Because you want to impress people. Aha. Now, is wanting to impress people a positive or a negative attribute? Okay, it's a negative attribute. What is behind that? What is behind that? Feeling of lack of self-worth, feeling like you won't be admired if you don't have that item. So there's insecurities there. Those are normal. So where is the false personality coming from? The false personality comes from the influence. So that's what we're going to clear is the influence. Once again, there is fizz. There's this tower of fizz. And for some reason, I would usually clear it from the bottom up, but for some reason, I want to clear it from the top down. It's the influence. What is the influence that makes you ponder that to begin with? What is that influence that makes people think that something that has a brand is going to make you impress others? Wait. I thought you bought it because it makes you happy. Did you buy it because it makes you happy? Or did you buy it because you want to impress people? Either way, where did that come from? Do you see the ingenuineness of that influence? So we're clearing this tower, a fizzy tower of influence, popping out the roots. The roots were surviving off energetic fluid. Somehow those roots were just really caved in. You need to stop listening to modern music, the radio, anything modern movies, modern commercials, whatever it is that is considered modern in your eyes, you have to stop listening to it because it's all cursed. It's all cursed. Titanite, I believe it's called, is what I am making the cover of this video is Titanite. Titanite, green Titanite, is a stone that is very good to dispel mental programming of any kind for everyone, for all the cards. Okay, so we've got rid of this building that you need to stop activating or trying to reactivate with thinking, keeping yourself on a loop that is false. The false personality that you have is illuminatic. Okay, it is a very low vibration, and even though we cleared it, there's still these residuals that are programmed to keep you on loop, almost to like never forget them. If it helps you, all those things that you've allowed to influence you have negative symbology and negative messages if you play them backwards, I want to say. So we've set up these wings on the scar or the imprint of that tower so that if you ever try to reactivate it again, subconsciously or accidentally or unconsciously, the wings will not allow it to root down. The wings will make it keep floating, as in flying away from you to go cluster with wherever the hell it came, which is a whole piece that is too large to clear on a whole, and not only large but dangerous. So we just want to worry about our energy, our elbow space, our shield, our loved one shield, our household shield. For the most part, you don't want to go clearing things that are bigger. Okay? So that is what I have for you in regards to all that. As you clear these false influences and false subliminal messages that you are going to be breaking by not listening to or entertaining anymore. Concerts. When people go to concerts, mainstream concerts, you're going to a ritual, you're going to a spell, you're going to a curse, and you're paying money to watch someone perform that you don't even realize is not that person. You're not watching the celebrity, you're watching the celebrity's clone that is imitating a dead celebrity that was killed and replaced. That is a ritual that they do. They kill a celebrity. When the celebrity doesn't want to cooperate, replace it with the clone, and you're over there paying money to watch these concerts. Refuse to be used by modern society. Refuse to be used by Holly Hellwood. Pull away from your fears and refuse to be a victim. You will never be happy if you don't end the toxic arrangements that imprison you. Love yourself. You deserve better. There are a number of you in here who want to chase fame and you want to chase clout. When you sign a contract with Holly Hellwood, you cannot cancel it. You can't void it. Okay? Maybe in the next lifetime, I don't know. But those kind of contracts are soul contracts. And as you can see, any celebrity that tries to take that soul contract back is targeted. Okay, so refuse to be used. This has to do with you. Refuse to be used by yourself. You're using yourself. You're the one who's using yourself, exploiting yourself at times. And for what? To lose your soul in the process? Okay, you got the beautiful starfish. You don't have to prove to anybody nothing, okay? That right there is another false personality that I am talking about. Thinking that you have to prove something to everyone. That is false. It's a ring, and we're going to chop the ring into little tiny pieces, shred them up, burn them, turn them to ashes, smoke, wind, gone. See, you don't even remember what it was. That is an agenda that wants to make people think they have to prove something to the whole world so that they can target you. You don't have to prove nothing to nobody but yourself and your own soul and your own spirit and your own relationship with Source. That's all that truly matters. Can you imagine if you marry someone? This is just an example. This is not a scan or a prediction. If you marry somebody that you're with for 10 to 15 years, you spend 10 to 15 years wanting to impress them, only to walk in on them and find your spouse cheating. And you think in your mind, golly, for 15 years, all I wanted to do was impress you. All I wanted to do was this, this, and this, and this. So you did a whole bunch of things that perhaps were not genuine or authentic just to try to impress them, when really they were going to cheat on you anyway because they're that kind of person. They get bored after a certain amount of time, you know? And I use that as an example because if you sit there and try to impress the world is not going to hold your hand on your deathbed. They're not. So the only one that you should be impressing is yourself. How can you be the best version of yourself for yourself and for whatever it is that you believe in? So this is the beautiful starfish, and taking on the starfish's personality, I feel, is more of your genuine self. Your genuine self without the false personalities is very relaxed, cool, calm, and collected, and adaptable is who you truly are. And when you take on that false personality that we cleared, it's like putting on an Elvis outfit. It looks ridiculous because it's like they say, the race is long. It's a long race, but at the end the race is only against ourselves. We think that we're racing all kinds of things, but we're just racing ourselves. Okay, so that's about all the messages that I have for that pile. Goodbye, pile one. Okay, so we are at pile two. It's always so tricky to clean up the pile mess so that everybody gets a fair chance at pulling out that card. Okay, are we ready? Okay, so pile two, if you chose embracing your wild side, okay, if this is what you were drawn to, what is the false personality? I already got it immediately. The false personality for this group is learning what is in fashion. That is the false personality, and we're clearing it now. There's so much of it. There's all of these cords, obsession, addiction, infiltration, just contaminating your mind, brainwashing you with everything that you think is in fashion, or everything that you think is up to date, everything that you think is modern. If I were you, I would stay away from social media. Permanently deleting social media is what a lot of people are doing. This is a group that should consider it for your own mental sanity, because everybody has an addiction, and your addiction is social media. And your false personality is learning and screening what everybody is doing on social media. So that you can either copy it, replicate it, do it, represent it, do it better. When it's actually a false personality, a false personality, a false persona, mental programming. If you want a stone, green Titanite is the stone that will break the programming. This bio here makes money doing it, okay? You have to be really careful, because if you're making money in enabling the false personality, then we have a problem. Because for some of you, it's an addiction, and I can clear it, and then you can bring it right back by doing the same thing. Don't, for you, the false personality is learning. For yours, it's learning. That is your false personality, is not learning good things, learning what everybody else is doing on social media, screening people obsessively for ideas and so forth. So, is there a way that you can modify your industry or modify your work so that it is more genuine or authentic? Is there any way that you can do that? If you can't, and your work involves impersonating, that's fine. We can work with that, I suppose. But on your downtime, when you're not working, I see you still scrolling obsessively for ideas, learning. What makes you think that you can't come up with ideas on your own? There's like an energetic matrix Tourette's with this bio. Embracing your wild side is embracing your true self, embracing your genuine side, embracing your authentic side, which you show to no one. You show no one. You show everyone what you were ordered to show them through social media. Do you see how that is a false personality? It's like I almost have to rebuke it because it's so enmeshed with you. And you have to understand that these are false personalities, false personality traits that if you can envision removing your worst habit, what would that look like to you? We haven't even pulled any cards. Let's pull some cards for you. Let's put this over here. If you could envision what your life would look like, because I need you to help me. I can't clear something if you're not helping me see it. You know, like, I mean, I can see it, but if you're not helping me by seeing the problem and separating yourself from it. You have this group has a really bad addiction with the internet, social media, false personality, to the point where it's your income, and that's fine. It's fine if you make it your income, but you're still doing it when you get home. Does that make sense? Is there a way that we can give it a name, such as my toxic trait? What would it look like without your toxic trait if you were to remove it? Do you see how it's so enmeshed? If you were to freeze it, freeze that version of yourself, and then separate it and melt it away. Do you see how hard that was to pull away? You don't even know what it would look like. That's the problem. You don't know what it would look like. You can see it be separated, but you don't know what the result looks like because you never do it. You're never offline. You're like a robot. This pile is a very robotic, on default, infiltrated pile. I'm sorry. We have chaos. Only chaos and conflict can come from that. Extreme unhappiness and depression. That is the consequence when we are disconnected from source. Because you are connected to AI, to a toxic point where it's affecting your personality that you are embodying as your own, and it is not. Something is not quite right. Something is not quite right. Exactly. There's something in your life that needs to be modified. We have the kangaroo. So your original personality is a very strong personality with very powerful boundaries. What happened? Oh, there was an attack. That's what happened. Every time we are in a strong position, there's always something lurking, right? There's always something lurking, wanting to take the strength away. So it took it psychologically from you. It's a psychological hijack, a mental hijack. Okay, so we're going to return that back to you, and regress back to how you were before. You were influenced even before, and that's why generations go and curse other generations, because they don't consider their consequences. You were influenced even before you even touched AI by simply watching others be on AI as a baby. You know what pisses me off? You know what pisses me off? Seeing mothers hand their baby a phone or a pad or whatever, an electronic device, so that that baby leaves them alone at the restaurant. It really pisses me off. How dare you? You're already, or you buy your child a laptop at an extremely young age. You are messing their sexual reproductive system and reproductive organs. And for a baby, to give a baby or a toddler a phone at a restaurant so that they will leave you alone, I don't care what you're putting on there. Whether it's a cartoon, you're handing them an electronic, you're handing them a device that can take you out. If you get on the wrong person's side, if you step on the wrong person's shoes, they can take you out with the phone. The phone, EMF, radiation, that's the physical component. But you are causing brain damage, autism, a very low IQ to give a baby or a toddler a phone for entertainment. They should not be exposed to electronics like that. But let me not ramble on. My God, I'm sorry. Um, it does something to their brain that is so bad I can't even explain in words. It's like blue light, the blue light damage in our eyes from screen time. Supposedly that is damage that we never get back. Supposedly. Meaning it's really damaging. That's why you have to get the eye filters, the glasses that protect from the screen light and everything. But anyways, whatever happened, for some of you, you don't know what that looks like because you never had a chance, because you are probably one of them who had parents that handed you a phone as a baby. So if you don't know what it is, it's important for you to figure out who you are without electronics. Detoxing and fasting spiritually from electronics and social media for a week. I think a week should help you figure out where your false personality is and what that strength is. There's a strength and ferocious power about you that you have been disabled by either substance or a negative influence. When this card comes out, it's usually a warning that something in your life has to be removed or cleared. That's about all the messages that I have for that pile. So before I finish, I just want to look at something real quick. Make sure that if you really want to feel the difference of having the artificial personality removed, you're gonna have to fast from social media and the internet. Because if you don't, I just feel like you're just gonna mesh and slip right into it. And the problem with you here is a sense of loss of identity because of that false personality. So it's so bad that there is no personality without it. It's just the false personality, and there is no genuine personality there. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this one is going to ultimately find its power through detoxing from social media, internet, cell phone, AI for a good week and figure out where your true self is. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Okay, pile 3. If you are attracted to this pile, this is the pile of wealth. On the negative, it is or can be associated with gluttony. This is the Count Your Blessings card. Wealth and power surround you, and smooth journeys lie ahead. Make the best of this time while remaining productive. Practice humility and modesty. Appreciate that which you have, and remember those who have stood by you. Be grateful. Okay, so right off the bat here, if you chose this pile, what I feel is that the gluttony is either physical gluttony or Gluttony in another form that is not particularly physical. Overindulgence. But for the most part, I feel that there is like an insatiable thirst or hunger for something that you can never fulfill. And that is the false personality for this pile, is this false sense of dissatisfaction, this false sense of hunger, a false sense of thirst, a false sense of dissatisfaction, and a need to want and need and require more and more and more. It's diabolical. It's a wheel. So we're clearing this wheel, but in order to clear this wheel, we have to spin it one way and spin it another, and then figure out why it's so hard to clear. And it has to be cleared in layers. So entities or demons target your digestion, and they know. The people in this pile could also have borderline diabetes or IBS, as well as addictions to the allergies that you have. Addictions to those very allergies that you have are your addictions. Celiac, gluten intolerant, lactose intolerant, all those things are infiltrated by entities that ultimately are targeting your digestion. Why do they target your digestion? They target your digestion because your digestion is where your sacred chi energy, your gold ball energy is located, which is really the PowerPoint of it all. If I were to choose which one is the most powerful, I would have to say it's the golden ball right beneath your navel. And by entities targeting your digestion, they disempower you. Notice the word, the similarity in disease, dissing, taking away your power, trying to take away your chi. So let's say you have something powerful to do. Let's say you have something powerful to conduct. And all of a sudden, you have heartburn. Okay, so we're clearing that area because it's been a lot of fizz lately, or maybe now I think I know why. The heartburn, the stomach ache, it always happens right before you have to do something important, okay? It's very important for you to tackle your diet like you're tackling a demon, because your gut is alive, and we have negative bacteria is the most common problem with clients, is negative bacteria. We want positive bacteria, and that's why alcohol is so bad for you. Alcohol is so bad for you because it kills the positive bacteria and feeds the negative bacteria. And that's where all the health issues come in, the athlete's foot, yeast infection, candida, things like that, from having too much negative bacteria or overgrowth of negative bacteria that we don't want. So that is how you are targeted, because if they can't target you because you're financially protected, you're protected by wealth, or protected by your family, or protected by your inheritances, then negative entities cannot attack you with poverty. So they're going to attack you with your digestion. And that's why a lot of people that are wealthy have digestion issues, because, entities do what they're going to do. And that's what you have to tackle, is strengthening your diet, really. I don't know if diet is the right word. Um, Realizing that this false personality is a lie. Whenever you have hunger, it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. Keep telling yourself that hunger is a lie. We're really not supposed to eat 3 times a day. We're only supposed to eat when we're hungry. But we eat habitually. We eat 3 times a day, even when we're not hungry, as a habit. We eat when we're emotional. We eat when we're happy. We eat when we're around people, and we're supposed to do the complete opposite, is abstaining. Abstaining from unnecessary calories, especially if you're hibernating, because a lot of times we hibernate, we're not burning enough calories. Then we need to eat less calories, because, if on a particular day you're not going to work that day, then don't have that many calories. So, because that's how you're going to be targeted and weakened. We have a new life. Whenever you detox or take those slim teas, Garcinia enzymes, probiotics, non-alcoholic kombucha, all of those things will help with digestion. And chia seeds. Chia seeds is a fabulous. You will feel like a new person. You will feel like you're going to slip into your original self. The energy of this card is your original self. This is who you really are. This is energized, motivated, inspired, excited. This is who you really are. And when you get targeted, you become fatigued and in pain. Do you see how that just disables? How it's just does that on purpose so that you are not like that. So for all of these piles, it's like these demons and entities, reptilians, aliens, whatever the hell you want to call them, sorry, they want you to slip into these costumes. They want to slip into you, but then they want you to slip into a costume that closer resembles them. And that is the false personality, the false personality characteristic trait that they want you to think is yours. Round and round. So as you go on your routine, that's when you get targeted. But if you're aware that you're going to get targeted in the middle of your routine, then you're protected and you prevent that issue from happening again. So, not being satisfied, not being full, that is a lie. And if it's not physical, if you're not having this problem physically, it is another issue that is toxic, but it may not be related to digestion. It might be related to anything else. I lost what I was saying. I was going to say something. Okay, let's just go on. We have puka shells. If it's not digestion problems with you, it's about removing what is disempowering you. What is related? What is related to what is disempowering you is the false personality. That is pretending, lying, sneaking, pretending to be a personality trait of yours when it is not. So we have the puka shells is connecting with everything that is sacred to you and realizing that that is the reason why you are being targeted, because of your lineage, because of your heritage, your language, your culture, and there's something sacred about it that needs to be protected. And the targeting that you might experience is ancestral targeting. It's targeting your lineage because your lineage is a powerful lineage, or a lineage that has value or medicine or a supernatural reputation. So it's important for you to resist any temptation to any kind of overindulgence, because the overindulgence is ultimately the false personality, is the false indulgence, okay? You are not a gluttony kind of person. We remove that. We remove all those gluttonous thoughts. It's going to hurt in the beginning when you start shrinking the issue, whether that is your gut or whatever is disempowering you, when you start shrinking it away. And then we have frankincense and myrrh, needing to smudge your house with frankincense and myrrh, where maybe you deal with a lot of people and a lot of people come in and out of your house. Sometimes people drop things off accidentally. People might, kids go to school and accidentally bring back entities. You have a lot of clientele. You don't just smudge your home, you smudge your office, you smudge everywhere. You smudge your car, you smudge your things that you buy from the store, you smudge. So because of all your interactions that you have with people, it's important for you to smudge with frankincense and myrrh and count all your blessings and protect yourself and protect your lineage. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Okay, where are we? 4, pile 4. Okay, so I'm gonna take 1 second here. Okay, we are back. So hello, pile 4. Let's put here these to the side. If you chose this card, this is talking about trusting your destiny. Fear will not permit you to avoid the predestined. It is only a waste of energy. Remain determined. Do not allow love, passion, or strong beliefs to be tempered by fear of loss. Your destiny is your destiny. So if you chose this pile, you are worried and you are anxious. And let's see if we can find out where the false personality is for this group. This group is very interesting because it's very black and white. It's probably the most black and white reading I've ever done in my entire life for you. This one right here, the false personality is everything that is a lie in your life. That is the false personality. For other groups or other people, a lie is a lie, the truth is the truth. But for this particular group, if you were to get a list of compliments, let's say we have beautiful, talented, intelligent, caring, considerate, a humanitarian, charismatic. I give all those to you. You check all those boxes. Whether or not you're a male or a female, it doesn't matter. It's because that's how you're energetically coming off. It's these negative emotions are common for very high level special people. Who do you think is targeted the most? Highest level people. The highest level people are targeted the most from a young age, from a baby, from newborn. And the people that don't choose to progress, they don't really get targeted because they already made that decision to not progress. So they're not going to be targeted. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. The people who do the most inner work, the most energy work, the people who love God the most, source the most talented ones, those are the ones that get targeted the most. So with you, it's straight up black and white. You checked all those beautiful, amazing personality, funny, all those good boxes. So the false personality for you is everything that's a lie that you tell yourself, that other people make you feel. It is a straight lie. Oh, you get targeted at work all of the time. Isolated targeting because people want to disempower you from your light because you make other people realize what a dusty, wicked shadow they are around you. So they're going to try to disempower you because they're all a bunch of shadows. They're a bunch of shadows that are just mad because you check off all the boxes and you're an all natural. So they make up a list of these demonic personality traits. Insecurity, that is one. Insignificant, that is another. Worthless, poor, those are the main ones. We're washing all those away with the golden ocean waves. Golden sand mixed with golden salt. Ocean waves just ferociously shoving those lies back to where they came from. And all those lies that try to lie on you or your name, all those lies have been returned back to the stomachs of the wicked people who tried to hurt you. They didn't even have time to swallow. It's already in their stomach. They're going to feel a heavy stone in their stomach. Those wicked people who try to lie about you. And my readings are dedicated to people that are of love and compassion. If you are a wicked person watching my channel, it's unfortunately going to harm you. So if you're one of those people who say horrible things about other people that are not true, such as gossiping, unfortunately, that would backfire. These healing readings don't work on the enemy. They don't work on wicked people. They just give them back their laundry. And I like to make the load heavier, you know. I like to make the load heavier because you should have never been handed that basket to begin with. So if someone hands you a basket of their dirty laundry, add some rocks to it. You know, add some heaviness to it while you return that dirty laundry basket that was never yours to wash to begin with. So those are the kind of people that this pile has to deal with. And what you have to clear is hate and jealousy and envy, on top of the false personality that believes those lies subconsciously right before you go to sleep. You're like, was that person correct? Was that person right? When they said that I was disgusting? When they said that I am not from blah, blah, blah? You, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you question if the snakes are telling the truth? We rebuke the snakes. We crush them. And all their nonsense that they try to spew against this pile. Even if someone is innocent and doesn't know how to protect themselves at a higher level beyond the dimensions that we can comprehend, there is a universal consequence to that. And it's interesting how lower vibrational people will think that they can continue on with their behavior without that coming back and boomeranging them to decapitation. I'm serious. Like, anybody who wishes an innocent person harm, they need to watch their back. They really do. Those are the people that disappear from the face of this planet. Okay, let me not get all emotional with this pile. I'm serious. It's just like, you, oh my gosh. Your real personality, you feel that you cannot express. You feel like you cannot be yourself around anyone, because when you're around them, you get jealousy and evil eye no matter what you do, because everything that you come up with is authentic and genuine. You don't know how to be false. You don't understand people who are false. Yet everyone around you is false and uniform, and you are not. You don't like uniforms. So you feel like you have to go to the middle of nowhere to go be in your own little fantasy land because nobody understands your fantasy land. However, in this picture, there is a man watching you. You could have a man watching you in the 5D. You could be in a 5D relationship, a 5D marriage, a 5D, a telepathic ESP situation with somebody that really, really, really loves you and wants you. And there might be a long distance circumstance that's keeping you from being together. But once you are together, you are going to be each other's best friends, and you are both going to be able to be who you really are in your true personality together. And you won't need friends because you'll have each other to be yourself around. And it won't matter where you live in this world because you'll be able to be yourself with your person and vice versa wherever you go or wherever you end up, because that is your blessing. That is what you deserve. And other people are not going to have that. Those snakes are not going to have that. All those snakes that talk bad about you, they're getting cheated on by their person right now. While they're at work, their stay-at-home husbands are cheating on them. For whoever that's for. When you have an enemy that is wealthy, God's vengeance and wrath and justice and righteousness is delivered to your wealthy enemies through their love relationships. Do you know what that means? If karma can't hit somebody financially, karma will hit them through love. And those people who did you dirty, they're going to be done dirty by their people, and anyone they try to date in the future is just going to use them the way they used you. And it's going to be multiplied. It's going to be multiplied. So if they tormented you for 1 year, they're going to be tormented for 4 years. I mean it. There's just no reason, there's no excuse for doing what people do and expecting there to be no consequences. Oh, or there will be consequences. I'm not going to pick that up. So the false personality that we cleared was you believing it, you considering the lies. You believing it, you considering it, you even questioning if the lies are true. Those are all false. Those are false. They're false. I see it for some reason. I'm being shown newspaper. It's like a bunch of newspaper that you're just going to shove out of your way and not even read. Every time it tries to hit you again, you're like, oh, am I questioning lies? Am I questioning cap? Am I questioning BS? It's newspaper I have to shove out the way and not read. Crumble it up, shred it up. You can be creative with it. Just visualize a bunch of newspaper every time you're about to believe a self-destructive thought. And if you get tempted to read the energetic newspaper, the newspaper title says false personality traits. Don't believe the lies. They're lies. If it's negative, if it makes you feel low, it's a lie. It's a program. I shatter it. Shatter, destroy, diminished. Turn to fire, turn to ashes. Wind. So now the residual that you have is PTSD of why you constantly have to deal with this. You have to deal with this your entire life, and that's why it's very important for you to get together with your long distance partner, because when you're with your partner, for some reason, the jealousy is gonna go away by 60%, because you will be seen as a power couple that is not a threat to nobody. But when you're by yourself, everybody thinks that you are going to steal their man or steal their lady. But when you're with your person holding hands, people are going to see you and they're going to be like, oh, they're in a relationship, and you're not going to be sent as much evil eye anymore. I know that's messed up, but that's what it is. We have the beautiful seahorse. This is your real personality. This is who you really are. You don't bother nobody. You're just beautiful or handsome and you can't help it. Good luck is attracted to you like a magnet and you just can't help it. And it hurts you that you have to shield yourself and protect yourself all the time. That hurts. Nothing hurts more in this world than having to protect yourself from something that you wish was never there to harm you in the first place, because you are a very sensitive group. And then we have epazote. Beautiful epazote. If you feel like there is a negative energy inside of you, I would use epazote fresh. Epazote, Epazote. Fresher the better. The plant, get a plant of epazote and make tea with the leaves. The dry stuff is okay. I've bought the dry stuff before and I honestly was not as happy. I like the fresh stuff. The fresh stuff is I like adding cream, but it goes great all by itself, just the leaves or with a little soy creamer. That's all the messages that I have for you, pile 4. Bye. And we have come to pile 5. Hello, hello. So it's really funny. In the beginning of this reading, I had to get up and your little stone, everybody had a stone for the photo. Yours kept falling on the floor and I kept having to find a replacement. Then I would have this one and that would fall to the floor. So I feel I'm one of those people who's kind of superstitious for the most part. And I feel that 98% of everything has a meaning behind it. And I don't know where to put this. Okay. Pile 5. And I felt like that had something to do with this group feeling like you have gone through a series of deaths, spiritual deaths within this one same lifetime, where you have tried on different masks. You've tried on different wardrobes. You've tried different religions, different drugs, different substances, different perspectives, different etc. And this was symbolic for constantly moving on your pile And what that represents. And what that represents is that you are an extremely adaptable person. You easily adapt. You understand the concept of compromise. You are open. You are spiritually open. You are disciplined. You question everything. You look at both sides of the story. Your priority is balance and meditation visuals. Your health, your thoughts, your personality traits. Exactly why we're here today is to find out where is your false personality. I'm already starting to kind of feel a sense of it. And I feel like that false personality that this group has is a false sense that something is wrong with you, that you have to change it so much. Why do you have to change it? Why do you have to change it? Why do you have to change it? It's amazing that you change it. It's progressive. Sure, I see that. But there's a little bit of, you know how everything is supposed to have moderation? For yours, the cup is overflowing when it comes to bipolar, tripolar, multiple personality disorder, DOD, or DID. Which one is it again? Um, you know what I'm talking about. I'm so sorry. It is a real diagnosis. Some people say that is demonic possession. Others say that it's a survival mechanism when you have different kinds of personalities. I'm not saying that you have that. You could, but there's an imbalance. Okay? There's an imbalance of doing it too much, which I'm sure that a lot of you have already figured out, that by you being open, you became infiltrated. So it's very important for us to be guarded, guarded when it comes to anything new, and open with those who deserve it, if that makes sense. So your false personality is a false belief that makes you think that something is wrong with who you really are. Who you really are is your spirit. Who you really are is your soul. Our souls, our spirits are dynamic, complex, powerful, the most powerful quantum system, but we are simple. Intricate, yes, but at the same time, we are simple. So your personality, your true personality, your genuine, authentic personality, characteristics and traits should come natural to you, natural to you, natural to you, and there's no need to modify it much. It's wonderful to have spiritual deaths within one lifetime where we evolve as a human, as an individual, where we no longer identify with our old self. That is productive and necessary and relevant in our spiritual path. But we must not believe the lies. And there is a lie that wants to be blocked like tin. And we're going to remove those screws and get rid of this ridiculous sheet of tin and metal that is trying to block you and say, no, no, don't look at it. Don't look at the false personality that was given to you that made you believe that something was wrong with your original personality to begin with. So we've cleared that, and now you have a clear view, and you're like, wait a minute. There's nothing wrong with my real personality, my real spirit, my real soul. No, there isn't. You do not have to take in a skin. You do not have to take in even a wardrobe. So, what is the physical work that this group needs to do? Nurturing yourself, nurturing your true self, accepting nurture from others. If others want to nurture your true self version, let them. Some of you might have an issue with receiving where you kind of push people away when they're trying to give you cookies. And you're like, no, I'm too much of a man to accept those. That's exactly what we're talking about here. That's exactly what we're talking about here. Your true self wants the cookie, so take it. What's so wrong with saying, oh, yay, it's a cookie? Yeah, that's what you really want to say. Nurturing your inner child, allowing other people to nurture your inner child and not push them away with your ego. Ego, that is a whole, that's, everybody knows we need to murder the ego, right? The ego just always gets in the way. I'm starting to get suspicious here. What if ego is just the devil? Inner work, we have you needing to isolate yourself from the problem. This one has been coming up a lot for a lot of people that are just staring at their problems and not isolating yourselves. Go for a drive, go for a walk, go for a swim, go barbecue outside. Do something where you just remove yourself from the problem. If your problem is this close, you can't see the answer. Spiritual work for this group. Spiritual work is for you to balance your male and female aspects. We all have both. When it comes to defending yourself and not believing the false, fake personality that's trying to tell you that something is wrong with your original, you clear that. Clear it. Clear it. Yours you have to clear every day. Every day when you meditate. Clear that false personality that is telling you that you have to modify your original. Another problem with this group could be in the past, present, or future. I accidentally pulled two more and I didn't really have a question. Going towards things that motivate you and that are motivating and exciting, as opposed to going towards things that you think you should be doing. Or like, I think that I should prove to everybody that I'm going to hike this mountain. No. What do you really want to do? You really just want to go to the museum. So go to the museum. Do what you really want to do. Be receptive. Where in your life do you need to be more receptive? You need to be more receptive towards what is infiltrated. There is a problem with yoga, a problem with Reiki, a problem with symbols, negative symbols. There's infiltration in churches. You have to be careful with the groups that you try to open yourself up to. There's no need to join a group to prove anything to anyone. In fact, if you want to get energetically powerful, you do that in isolation. Because almost all the groups out there are infiltrated. Negative symbols, negative symbols. There are so many channels out there that pretend to be good and they're not. I'm going to give you one example. So, a couple years ago, I want to say like 3 years ago, I needed help with paranormal issues, and I found a channel that was portraying itself as protecting your, not protecting, but like, getting rid of the issue, like getting rid of D's, getting rid of G's, getting rid of this, getting rid of that through frequencies. And sure, it worked, but it came with a price. It was infiltrated. And for so long, I thought that that was a good channel or a good person. And then I was looking at their photos and I saw them wearing a necklace. And that necklace had a symbol to the VRILLZ. And I was like, oh my God, what in the freaking world? You have to be careful just because there's a little pink and glittery website that tells you that you can cast spells and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't mean it's not infiltrated. Just because there's a channel that's saying that it's going to protect you against certain things or exercise certain things does not mean it's not infiltrated. So that channel had me fooled for such a long time, and VRILLZs are very high level they're very they're a very high level dark society, let's just put it that way. Okay, and they body snatch, soul snatch, body exchange, shapeshift, drone, all those kind of things. And I'm not talking about airplane flying drones. I'm talking about drone murdering through the proboscis. Okay. Anywho, my point is, because this pile is so open, you might have already had this happen to you in the past. That's why I can't tell if it's past, present, or future, but where you went to a group, you went to a camp, you went to a yoga retreat where you were spiritually attacked. And if it hasn't happened yet, then don't let that happen. Don't go to spiritual retreats. Do not go to ceremonies, okay? Don't even go to Native American ceremonies because they're not traditional anymore. They used to be traditional a long time ago. Now they are infiltrated, unfortunately. And that is what you need to be more receptive about, is not falling for the traps. So those traps will get you when you are at your strongest and when you are at your most vulnerable. So not only when you're at your most vulnerable, but also when you're about to have a breakthrough or when you've been healed. An attack will try to come at you because you've been healed and they don't want you to be healed. And you have to reject it, void it, cancel it, return to sender, destroy those arrows that try to do that to you. Things will try to harm you before you even choose them. I don't know if I want to take those. Those are too many. Okay, so we have cicada. Cicada. Is that how you say it? Cicada. Cicada. They make a noise. They make, the way that they sing is like static. Their little song sounds like static. And I believe they make that noise that comes out of their wings. And what I want to say to you with this card is, don't attract attention to you. Don't attract unwanted attention from a certain dark society that hides as rainbows and unicorns, because that happens all the time. It's really, really gnarly to think about that very little things are not infiltrated. It's like there's 2% of things in society that are not infiltrated or GMOized. GMOized, you know what I mean. So that is the false personality that is affecting you, thinking that something is wrong. Okay, put it in a piece of paper, thinking that something is wrong. If that helps you, write it down so that every time you get a sensation or something that tries to attack, you associate it to that note and clear them together. Okay, that's about all the messages that I have for everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Till next time. Bye.